Hi, welcome back to my channel once again. Today I'm going to be teaching how to cut and then sew this corset top. This video will be about the pattern and I'll be uploading the sewing videos later. Let's get started. I'm going to be using the basic bodice block. I'll start with the front pattern. The size of the dart I'm going to be using will be 1/2 inch. That means 0.75 or 1/2 and 1/4 on both sides of the dart. So the front dart starts 1 inch below the bust line and then 2 inches above the hip line. So at this point I'll go ahead and then insert my body measurements, that is my bust, waist and then hip measurements. So go ahead and insert yours, then we continue from there. So after that I'll go ahead and then join the points together to get the shape of the blouse. So after joining the points together, this is what I have. Now I'll go ahead and then join the darts together. Like I said, it ends 2 inches above the hip line. So go ahead and then join the darts together like I'm doing. So now I'll go ahead and then insert an underarm dart. I came down by 2 inches and then at that 2 inches point I went in and out by 1/2 inch. After that I'll connect to the bust point and then draw in my darts. So this is what I have now. I have the hip, the waist and then the bust line, as you can see. So at this point I'll go ahead and divide the shoulder into 2. So whatever you get for the shoulder, just connect from that point to the bust point. So this is what I have. After that I'll go ahead and then cut out to the bust point. So after cutting to the bust point, I'll work on the underarm darts. I'll cut the upper part of the underarm dart, as you can see me doing. Make sure you don't cut it off. Make sure it's hanging. So after that I'll just raise it and then put it on like this and then tip it down. So after taping it down, you can see there is a shortage somewhere at the bust. So I'll go ahead and then join it again with my ruler. I mean from the shoulder to the bust line. So now from the bust point, I'll come down by 3.5 inches. That is for my bust ratio, or to get the lower part of my bust. So if you are curvy, you can use about 4 inches, and if your bust is small, you can use about 3 or 2.5 inches. So on that point I'll go out by 1/2 inch on both sides. So after that I'll connect that new point to the bust point again. So after connecting, this is what I have. You can see I connected to the point and then to the waistline as well. So from there I'll go up by 3 inches or 2.5 inches. You can decide to make it 4 depending on how much skin you want to show. If you want to show more skin, you can go up by 2.25 or 2 inches. But if you want to cover your bust, you go up by 3 or 4 inches if you want to. So after going up, I'll go ahead and then mark 1/2 inch on both sides, as you can see me doing. and then connect it to the bust point. So after connecting to the bust point, this is what I have. Now at the center front, I'll go up by ½ inch, and on that ½ inch line, I'll come in by ½ inch again. Just pay attention to what I'm doing. After that, go ahead and connect with your ruler like I have done. And at the side seam, I'm coming down by ½ inch, then go in by 1 1/4 or 1.25. So after that, I'll connect from that point to the bust and then to the center front. Just pay attention to what I am doing. So this is what I have, as you can see. So take your time and then connect. After connecting, I realized the line is not as curvy as I want. So I went ahead to straighten it on or shape it well. So go ahead and then shape it into whatever you want. After that, I'll come down by 1.25 or 1.5 depending on how you want the shape of the cap to be. So remember, I came down by 3.5 for the bust ratio, so I'll go ahead and then mark 3.5 on every side of the dart to get a curvy or to get the shape of the cap. So from that ½ inch I went in at the center front, I'll begin to connect. So I connected from that point through to the other point. Remember, I came down by 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead and then mark that on the cap like I've done, then connect to the bust point. And then at the side seam of the cap as well, I'll go ahead and then mark the same thing there. Then I'll connect it to the bust point as well. So with this, we've gotten the shape of the cap, and you can see it is coming out at this point. So now go ahead and then measure the size of the dart and then replace it at the side seam. Remember, I added 1.5 at the waist, and then I'll measure the size of the dart in the cap and then just connect to the waistline. So at this point, if you want your corset to be at the waist, we are done with that, but I want mine to be a bit longer. So from the waist point, I came down by 3 inches, and then I went in by 3 inches as well, or you can reduce it to any shape or anyhow you want. So from there, I'll connect to the waistline. Note, you can decide to make that place longer. You can decide to make it curve, straight, however you want it to be. You can make your design. So at this point, I'm done with the front, but before I cut out, I'll go ahead and then fold the dart on, as you can see, in order to get the shape very well, because after cutting out, if you don't cross check, you will lose fabric because the darts will be taken out. So you see, after folding it on, I have a perfect shape. So I am done with the front. I'll go ahead and then cut out. So take your time when cutting out in order to avoid mistakes. So just pay attention to what I am doing. The sewing video of this will come soon. At this time, I'm posting only the working pattern. So I'll be posting the sewing videos very soon. So after that, I'll go ahead and then cut every part off now. So at this point, I'll go ahead and then label the caps, know where it's coming to the center front and then side seam, which part will be joined to which part. So however you understand your pattern, just go ahead and then label it in order not to get confused. So that is it for the cap. I'll go ahead and then cut out. So take your time and then cut out. So I'll be adding seam allowances to the fabric when cutting out. So this pattern is without seam allowance. So at this point, I'm going to be working on the cap. So I'll go ahead and then cut it out. So with the upper part of the cap, I'll go ahead and then fold the darts in. I'll fold the darts in and then pin them together or tape it down to make it one piece. So just fold the darts in like I am doing. Yes, so after folding it in, you can decide to tape it down or pin it, however works or whatever works for you. Just go ahead and then do it. So after taping it down, I'll go ahead and then transfer it onto a white paper, or if you have a tracing paper, you can use it as well. So I'll go ahead and then pin it down and then reshape the cap. So please pay attention to this part because this is what will bring the cap out. So after pinning it down at the upper part, I'll go ahead and then shape it into how I want my cap to be. If you're okay with the shape, you maintain it. So at the center, I'll come in by 1/4 inch and then connect with my curve. So just pay attention to what I am doing, then you understand it. So I'll do this to the upper parts and then the lower parts as well. Wherever there was a cut, just go ahead and then add 1/4 to it. So take your time and shape. You can see I'm having a very tough time there. So take your time and shape it in order to get everything well. So I'll go ahead and then add 1/4 to the parts you can see. So just pay attention. Then you do the same thing as I am doing and your cap will come out nice. So I'll do that to both pieces before adding my seam allowance to it. So it is 1/4. So after this, I'll go ahead and then add 1/2 inch seam allowance to every part of the cap. So as you can see, I'm adding 1/2 inch to it. It's advisable to add 1/2 inch to it. Anything less might cause a problem, so just add 1/2 inch to the side, to the cap. So after that, I'll connect with my pencil before cutting out. And we are doing this on all pieces of the cap. At this point, I'll go ahead and then work on the back. So I have my hip, waist, and then bust, and I'll go ahead and then insert or mark my body measurements. So this is all we need for the back. Even though the lower part from the waist down isn't part, I'll still use the same pattern. So the size of the waist dart is the same as the front, half and quarter on both sides, making 1.5 inches in total. So the back dart starts right at the butt point and then ends 2 inches above the hip line. So just go ahead and then connect your darts as I am doing. So after this, remember I went down 1/2 inch on the front part of the bodice, and I'm doing same at the side seam of the back as well. So at the center back, I came down by 1/2 inch and then I'll connect to the side seam as well. So if you want the back to be deeper, you come down for about 1 or 2 inches. That depends on you. So at the bust line, I'll mark 1/2 inch on both sides, as you can see, and then connect to the waistline. So after connecting, this is what I have, and then I'll measure 1 inch from the center back in. You can make it 2 inches depending on how much skin you want to show at the back, or how wide you want the lacing to be. So this is what I want and how I want mine to be. So at this point, I'll go ahead and then measure the size of the darts and then put it at the side seam. So after that will be all for the back, and I'll go ahead and then cut out. So as you can see, that is where the lacing will be, and then that 1 inch will be cut off. So at this point, I'm done with the back, and then I'll go ahead and then cut out. So after cutting out, that will be all for the back. The sewing video is in another upload, or I'll be uploading it very soon, so watch out for it. So don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos, and then subscribe in order to get notified when I post my next video or the sewing video. Thanks for watching. See you another time. Bye.